Hare Krishna. The question is Gautama Buddha the founder of Buddhism? Is he the incarnation of the Lord? Let's see the answer. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Tataha kalo sampravritte sammohaya suradvisham buddho namnanjana sutaha kikateshu bhavishyati. In the beginning of Kali Yuga, the Lord will appear as Lord Buddha, the son of Anjana, in the province of Gaya, just for the purpose of deluding those who are envious of the faithful theist. So as per Srimad Bhagavatam, the Buddha avatar that happened at the beginning of Kali Yuga, that is thousands of years back, whereas the Gautama Buddha that we learn in the school, also known as Siddhartha Gautama, appeared in 5th or 6th century. So they are not the same. Gautama Buddha took the philosophy of Buddhism and propagated it further. He is not the founder of Buddhism. So Gautama Buddha is different from the incarnation of the Lord. Gautama Buddha is not the incarnation or one of the avatar of Lord Vishnu. That avatar is different, who appeared long back before Gautama. Vedavyasa in his Brahma Sutra also speaks about Buddhism. He condemns the philosophy of Buddha. So it is clear that Buddhism exists even before Gautama Buddha. The Buddha that's mentioned in the scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, and in Brahma Sutra is Satyavesha Avatar, the empowered incarnation of Vishnu's power. When it's invested, a particular power is invested in a living entity, and that living entity referred as Satyavesha Avatar. One may ask, Vedavyasa was present during Dwapara Yuga and Buddha appeared in the initial period of Kali Yuga as per Srimad Bhagavatam. Then how come Vedavyasa condemned Sunyavada philosophy, which is Buddhist philosophy, even before Buddha appeared? Two answers. It is not that Buddhism started only during Kali Yuga. It was existing even during the period of Lord Ramachandra. In Ramayana we can find the teachings of Buddhism. Then the question comes, how is it possible for it to exist in Treta Yuga during Rama's time and Kali Yuga? We must know once in every 4 yugas avatars keeps repeating. That means when Buddhism was spoken during Rama's time, it is a Kali Yuga that was previous to that current Chatur Yuga. Just to be clear, Chatur Yuga has 4 yugas: Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. This Chatur Yuga keeps repeating as a cycle every time. So when Rama spoke about Buddhism and Srimad Bhagavatam says that Buddha appeared during the starting of Kali Yuga, that Kali Yuga that has been mentioned in Ramayana is the previous Kali Yuga from a previous Chatur Yuga. This is also confirmed by Jiva Goswami. He says Buddha who appeared in Kali Yuga is from the previous Chatur Yuga. So by all different angles, it is very clear Gautama Buddha is not the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. That incarnation is different, and he appeared long back, and his philosophy has been there for a longer period. One may ask why the Lord should appear in this world to propagate something against the Vedas. That is answered by Jayadev Goswami in his Dasavatara Stotra. Nindasi yajna vider ahaha sruti jatam Sadaya Hridaya Darshita Pashughatam Keshavadrita Buddha Sharira Jaya Jagadisha Hari. He says the mission of Lord Buddha was to save people from the abominable activity of killing animals and to save the poor animals from being unnecessarily killed. And also, it is said that the Lord Himself appeared into this world as Lord Buddha to decrease the faith that Asuras had towards the Vedas. They were very faithful to the Vedas and they followed and practiced meticulously so that they can win over the Devas, Devatas, demigods very easily. Therefore, the Lord appeared as Buddha carrying a book in his hand and pointed out many things as false in the Vedas. And he was able to capture these Asuras' attention very easily. And the Asuras who got convinced started rejecting the Vedas under the instruction of Buddha. And because of which they started losing their strength and the Devatas were able to win over these Asuras. This school of thought, Buddhism, which was propagated by the Lord Himself, does not fall into orthodox schools of thought. In other words, Buddhism does not fall into the umbrella of Sanatana Dharma. The school of thought did follow some common principles: non-violence, truthfulness, celibacy, etc. But there is a big variation from Sanatana Dharma. The very first thing is they denied the Vedas, the scriptures. They deny the existence of God. They deny the existence of Atma itself. When these three are not accepted, or only one of these three are accepted, they do not fall into Sanatana Dharma. So we should know there's very specific reason why Lord appeared as Buddha and His mission was successful. There are 4 doctrines in Buddhism: Kshanabhanga, Pratyakshartha Bhanga, Bahyartha Bhanga, Dharma Dharmi Bhava Bhanga. Kshanabhanga means everything in the universe is momentary in nature. Nothing stays more than a moment. Everything is momentary. That includes the Atma as well. Pratyakshartha Bhanga. The object of perception do not actually exist. Number 3, Bhagyartha Bhanga. It is only the knowledge which exists, everything else doesn't. Number 4, Dharma Dharmi Bhava Bhanga. Apart from the attributes that present in those objects, the object itself, the substance itself, doesn't exist. Based on these 4 doctrines, there were 4 branches of Buddhism sprouted. Number 1, Madhyamika. Number 2, Yogachara. Number 3, Sautrantika. Number 4, Vaibhashikam. Madhyamika said Sarvam Sunyam. Everything is void, non-existence, nothing exists. Whereas Yogacharya made a concession from Madhyamika, said the existence of knowledge is there, not that everything is void. The knowledge exists, but that knowledge is a series of thought. Next, the Sautantrika goes one step further than Yogacharya. He admits the existence of external objects in addition to knowledge. That was said by Yogacharya. Madhyamika said nothing exists. Yogacharya said knowledge exists. Sautrantika said in addition to knowledge, the existence object exists. Whereas Vaibhashika, to overcome some defects in the philosophies that's been promoted from the other branches. What he said is the objects can be perceived directly. Not only it exists, it can be perceived. Madhyamika denied everything. Yogacharya accepted the knowledge and denied the external objects. Sautrantika admitted the knowledge and also admitted the existence of external objects. But according to him, the external object cannot be directly perceived. Whereas Vaibhashika said the knowledge exists, the external object exists, and it can be perceived directly. These are the 4 branches of Buddhism. For those who are interested to know more about on these topics, can refer to Bhagavad Gita 5th chapter 7th sloka part 9 and 10 recordings. In that thread we have also mentioned about Jainism and also Charvaka philosophy. So whatever we discussed so far about different branches, their philosophy, were existing for a long time, even before Gautama Buddha. And Gautama Buddha followed some of these principles and propagated those principles of Buddhism. So, Gautama Buddha is not the incarnation of the Lord. That incarnation is different, who appeared long back in one of the previous Kali Yuga. Thank you. Hare Krishna.